Right, the record reflect we are back in session, parties and counsel are present, all members of our jury or alternates are present, and are we ready to proceed today, or?
Yes, Your Honor, we're gonna do a little bit of Sergeant Hankey.
Okay.
And the portions that I can cover today, it was just very small, and then tomorrow we'll resume with him.
Okay.
Detective Hankey is not available tomorrow, Your Honor.
Or whenever he's available, but I didn't want to just not do anything today, so.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Detective Hankey.
Yes.
Do you solemnly state the evidence you'll give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. State your full name, spell it for the record.
Daniel Hankey, D-A-N-I-E-L-H-A-N-K-E.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Detective Hankey.
Good afternoon.
As part of your investigation, were you, did you go to a facility, it may have been near Camp Pendleton or could have been Camp Pendleton itself, for any specific purpose?
Yes, sir.
And could you describe for the jury when you went and what was the purpose of going there?
Absolutely. In August of 2014, during the investigation, I went to Camp Pendleton, the base, and went to the paintball field located on base.
On the actual base?
Yes, sir.
And they have is it a recreational paintball facility that outsiders can go to, or is that strictly for the military?
No, sir, it's open to the military, but it is also open to the public. You have to go through the gates through the military, but it's actually on the base, but it's a private company on the base.
And the purpose of going there was to see if you could get some records of some sort?
Yes, sir.
And what were the records you were after?
I was looking for any type of waivers or receipts showing that either the defendant or Joseph McStay had ever been to the paintball facility.
Because that was information that Mr. Merritt had given to law enforcement, is that correct?
Objection, hearsay.
Yes, he told San Diego detectives that.
Okay, so you were, I guess, going back to one of his interviews with San Diego, and you listened to that or read it and saw that he had told those investigators that he had gone paintballing at that location, is that correct?
Yes, sir, we just want to verify that.
Okay, do you know when you went to Camp Pendleton? You may have just mentioned it.
Yeah, it was August 20th of 2010.
Okay, and were you able to
2010?
locate?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, August 20th, 2014, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, sir. That's my mistake.
It's okay. And you were able to, did you speak with anyone there that was assisting you, or was it something that you just were able to go and look at records?
Yeah, it was very brief, no interview. I talked to the owner, and the owner gave me permission to search for records.
Okay, I'm going to show you what's been marked as 1142 and 1143. You can just see if you can identify these, and if so, I'll ask you another question.
Yes, sir. I can identify.
Okay, are those the records that you retrieved?
Yes.
And what are they?
They are release of liability waivers. At the time, when in 2014, and I apologize for the date, I was looking for records from 2010, so I'm sorry about the mix-up for that. At the time, in 2014, they were on electronic waivers. It was all computerized systems. But for the date range I was looking for, they were all on paper waivers that they saw that in order to go play paintball, you had to sign a paper waiver to release the paintball place for any type of liability.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and publish those for the jury. I'll start with 1142. hopefully we can see, oh boy, I knew it was gonna be a problem here. Let's see. Yeah, sure. Start button. Again? Okay, did that. Again? Okay. Again? It seems like the first one was the best. How do we get back to the original setting, Lamb? Okay. Okay, well, this will, yeah, we'll try and zoom in here. So, Detective Hankey, if you could just describe what we're looking at here.
Yeah, sure. There was a release of liability, a paper release of liability that I located. The name of Chase Merritt and a date of 12/10/09.
Okay, and were you able to verify with the, whoever the person, with the owner, I think you said, does that date indicate the date that they would have, that Mr. Merritt would have been there to do it? Or do you do the waiver on a different date, or you do it once for every time you go there?
Yeah, the owner said that they just had to have a waiver on file, but normally they would sign it the day of, prior to if it wasn't on file.
Okay, do you know that if it is signed on whatever date and they go there, can they use that waiver for subsequent visits to the paintball?
Yes,
Okay, so on this one, the particular date is December 10th, 2009, is that correct?
correct.
Does this mean that if Mr. Merritt would have gone maybe 3 more times in December, this would have covered those visits?
Objection, speculation, hearsay.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if they have to fill out another form. They said they just had to have one on file for them, so I'm not sure what their policy is.
Okay. And then I'm going to show you exhibit 1143. Looks like the same type of form, correct?
Yes,
And this one is for Joseph McStay.
yes.
And I don't know if you can see the date there. Looks like a different date. Is that January 10th, 2009?
That's what it says, yes.
Is that a date that the owner was able to confirm, or was that a mistake of some sort? Do you know?
Objection, speculation.
sustained.
Do you know if did the owner talk to you about the date on this one?
The owner did not know. He had no knowledge of any of the waivers.
Okay. Did the owner even remember Mr. Merritt or Mr. McStay?
No, if you saw the condition of the waivers, they were thrown in a Connex box and there was water damage and they didn't even know that they had them, so they didn't have any knowledge about the waivers or who went. They said hundreds of people go there, did.
Did you have to go into an office with filing cabinets to locate it?
No, sir, it was a outdoor Connex box and it literally had boxes and boxes of waivers,
So it was like a storage,
kind of, yes.
Storage.
Catch-all.
and you actually went through those boxes and boxes and you were able to find it?
Yes,
Okay. I have some photographs here, and because I'm not sure if these match, I'm gonna just ask you if these are the boxes that you went through, okay?
yes, sir.
There's about 4 or 5 photographs, you can look at any one that you want.
Those are them, sir.
Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna have these marked as the next in order, but while I'm doing that, if I could just ask you, were these 2 waivers that you found, were they found together?
Yeah, they were close together.
Okay, so, when you say close together, they were meaning one after the other, is that correct?
It was in the same packet, in the same box. And the boxes were generally by month, but it wasn't very organized.
Okay. And did the storage facility have just a few boxes, or was it kind of loaded with boxes?
It was loaded with everything. It was just completely, it was a mess.
Okay. And how long did it take for you to actually locate these two waivers that you found?
Objection relevance.
I don't recall, we were looking for specific date range between 2009 and 2010. So I don't remember it taking that long, but there were a lot of waivers. There was a couple detectives with me.
Okay. Do you recall who?
I don't, I'm sorry.
Okay. So this is exhibit 1144.
Yes. I recognize that.
Okay, that's what you had to kind of weed through?
Yeah, that was where we found the waivers.
Okay. I'm impressed, that's a pretty good job going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you write a report in connection with your visit to the Camp Pendleton?
I believe I did a short summary. Honestly, I don't recall. I know I had audio and the photographs, but if I had a report, it would just say that the search and with the photographs. So I don't recall if I have it. I did have audio and photographs though.
Okay. Audio in terms of your contact with the owner?
Yeah, just for the permission to search. There was no interview, so the reports are usually summaries of the interview, and the photographs were self-explanatory.
Other than these two documents, were there other documents that you retrieved?
No.
Okay. Your Honor, at this point, on this subject, that's all I have. I do have additional things to cover, but we won't be able to cover them today.
Okay, and I understand you're not available at all tomorrow morning?
I have a charity event I'm supposed to be in charge of. If I have to be here, I'll be here.
How long do you think you'll be with them in the morning?
Let's say 45 minutes to an hour.
Can we approach?
So, if we got you here at 9, tried to get you out at 10, could you bear with us?
I can try. Yes, I can try.
All right, we would all greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So can everyone be here at 9 o'clock tomorrow instead of 9:30? Okay. So we'll be in recess then until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll do our best to get you out as quickly as we can.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. Keep in mind the admonitions previously given to you, not to form or express any opinions about the case, not to discuss the case, and we'll see everyone back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, before you leave, we have several people indicating they have various times that they're not going to be able to be here, starting tomorrow afternoon. And we are going to accommodate those, okay? So our schedule right now, tomorrow we'll be here in the morning. We will not be here in the afternoon. Monday, May 6th, we will not be here. Then we'll be here all day Tuesday the 7th, all day Wednesday the 8th. And we'll be here if we need to be on the afternoon of the 9th. We'll be off on the morning. And
Your Honor, could I correct that I will be on a flight to Boise the morning of the 9th.
so you can't be here at all on the 9th,
I'll be here.
okay?
For 5 minutes?
All right. So next week we'll be here only on the 7th and the 8th. I'm tempted to say we might finish the evidence, but I won't say that. All right, so that's our plan right now, and we'll see where we are. And what I'm gonna be doing is meeting with the attorneys, trying to resolve the issues about what exhibits are gonna be admitted, jury instructions, things like that when we're not in session, so when we actually do finish the evidence, we won't have to take much time to do that. So even though you're not here, hopefully we're still gonna be getting some stuff done, okay? So we'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., okay? When we're not in session with the jury, maybe we can start going over the exhibits,
That's fine.
okay?
Your Honor, could we ask for an offer of proof as to what Detective Hankey needs to come back for again tomorrow?
Your Honor,
What was represented to us initially was the paintball receipts.
there's, he did the interviews with Catherine Jarvis, with we just got the notebook that was delivered here.
So it has to do with interviews of various witnesses?
Yes, interviews with
All right,
various
if you
witnesses.
could advise the DAs of what witnesses, so Detective Hankey can have those reports with him.
More importantly, what I want to talk about at this point, Your Honor, is I totally understand inconvenience to the jury. It's very sensitive to me. I don't like doing this. I'm trying to keep the things going.
I understand.
Which, you know, with Mr. McGee absent, his request was just to continue the whole trial without him here. And I'm more than happy to do that. But if I'm gonna be the one that's looked upon as the reason for these delays, then I'm gonna ask for that continuance, because I would much rather Mr. McGee doing it, I would much rather him do his own witnesses. And then when you throw in the wrinkle of Dr. Rudin being changed from Friday to Wednesday and now again to next week, that puts us in a place where we have to scramble. These are not my witnesses. I don't even have the materials. The notebook for Detective Hankey was just brought literally
Okay,
arrived here
I understand, and I
15 minutes
appreciate,
ago, so.
and I appreciate the fact that you are kind of scrambling to take over areas that Mr. McGee would have been doing. So I appreciate that. Do we have an update on his condition?
Your Honor, I spoke to him briefly, and basically, he saw his GP on Tuesday. The GP has ordered more tests.
Of course.
Just to make sure, rule out some things. I'm hoping that Jim might be back on Tuesday, but it appears that at least on Monday, whatever he had previously arranged, he's not going to be attending that, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we're not even in session on Monday anyways.
Right, and I don't think he was aware of that at the time, but that's my
Okay,
update.
But if the focus of blame is going to be on me, because I'm really the only one sitting here, and it's not so much me, it's more of my concern is for my client. So if that's going to be the tenor, then I would much rather just continue it until Mr. McGee's ready to go, and then we won't have these problems.
I don't have a problem with letting the jury know that, I mean, it's obvious Mr. McGee hasn't been here, so I think it's obvious that you're kind of jumping in to cover that, but I have no problem in advising the jury of that.
Thank you.
Okay. So 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, okay?